What's up, student athletes? I am Coach Austin from the Mental Goalie, and you are listening to the Mental Goalie podcast. More athletes than ever before are recognizing the importance of having a strong mental game and a powerful mindset. And in a position such as goaltending, the stakes are even higher. On this show, broken up into short episodes, I break down easy ways for you to start your mindset journey on the ice. Over the next few months, we're going to discuss the ways elite goaltenders are able to play in the moment, not let mistakes get to them, and build confidence so that every time you step on the ice, you can perform at your very best. Before we get into today's episode, guys, if you are an athlete struggling with confidence in your game and mental toughness during your training sessions, head over to the mentalgoalieschool.com/mindset academy to schedule your free clarity call and start the journey to becoming an elite athlete. On today's episode, guys, we are going to be discussing simple ways you can start working on your mental game. When you first think about adapting your mindset and developing a strong mental game, that task can feel really overwhelming. I was lucky enough in my career to have a mental skills coach to help guide me through some of my anxieties around the sport, but not everyone has that opportunity. So today I'd like to get into the easiest ways to start because it can be so difficult for us to jump that hurdle and get right into training our mental toughness and training our mindset. If you're tuned into this podcast right now, then the chances are you've wanted to work on your mental game for some time or have even started down the path of mental toughness training. It can be a daunting process to begin. Before I discovered some of the simple ways to begin my own mental skills training, I was riddled with setbacks. I was overthinking. I was getting overly angry at small mistakes. I was overanalyzing my mental techniques. Disappointment that I wasn't noticing a difference right away. That happened to me a lot. I was trying to work on my mental game. I was trying to be more positive, be more strong, and I didn't notice a change overnight. So I would get disappointed right away, and that's never a good thing. I was overwhelmed with not always knowing where to start or where to continue. And I knew that there was an issue or that I was having issues, but I didn't know what the simple fix was. And I was unable to simplify the fix. Remember, it's not easy, but we can simplify things to make it a little bit more easy for us to accomplish, easy for us to break down and take in one small bite at a time. So what I came to realize, though, that while shifting your mindset and growing mental toughness isn't a change you'll see overnight, there are these simple ways you can begin. And that's what we're going to talk about in today's episode, guys. I'm going to give you one easy way today that will help boost your mental game and get you started on your mental toughness path. This exercise should take about 5 minutes each day. Once you get comfortable, you can build on it and create a routine that's unique to you. The easiest way to start training your mental game, guys, is to get your hands on a journal and start writing. It sounds simple, but trust me, and I'm going to give you 5 sentences or 5 steps that you can journal about each day to get you started. Journaling, it's the quickest way to build self-awareness. By journaling, we see and analyze our thoughts, which helps us grow. When I talk about mental skills and I talk about shifting our mindset and mindset training when it comes to sports and life in general, self-awareness is the start to your path to shifting your mindset. If we can be self-aware and you can analyze your feelings, your emotions, and separate your thoughts from your emotions, then you're starting off on the right path. And journaling is the best way for us to start doing that. So your daily, easy 5-step journaling exercise should look just like this. Number 1, at the end of the day, write down one thing you're grateful for. 20 to 30 seconds. Shouldn't take you very long at all. Practicing gratitude allows us to look at what we already have in the world, and it helps us appreciate everything that we've accomplished to get to this point. If you aren't grateful for what you already have, what makes you think you would be happy with more? When you're grateful, fear disappears and abundance appears. For me, growing up and in my life and in my career, I definitely had difficulties looking at what I had around me and being happy with where I'm at. Now, of course, I was always the person, and a lot of athletes are the same way, that they want to push themselves. They want more. They want to be better than they were yesterday. And that's absolutely fantastic. That is the growth mindset. And that's the attitude we want to have. But at the same time, we shouldn't get caught up in what we don't have yet. We should at least look around and take it in and say, hey, this is what I have right now. Look at what I've built for myself right now at my career, and be grateful for that moment. Be grateful for what you have. If you're like that and you can be grateful and you can practice this gratitude, you're going to attract more abundance to your life. You're going to feel better going into your workouts because you know that what you have might be greater than others. And you're going to build off of that mindset. So writing down one thing each night, guys, that you're grateful for is going to help jumpstart this growth mindset and jumpstart this positive thinking process that we want to have as an elite athlete. Number 2, after you write down your gratitude, you're going to write down a challenge that you had today, and then one positive aspect about that challenge. Now, no day goes by without a challenge, guys. Some days are harder than others. But journaling about a challenge you face on any given day allows yourself to walk through it. It allows you to walk yourself through it, let you talk yourself down if you need to, depending on what that challenge might be. And it offers closure in a lot of situations too. Maybe your challenge was something as difficult as a really bad game, or a really tough practice, or even a fight with a family member or a best friend. And then maybe it's something as simple as stubbing your toe on the front door frame when you got home from school. Whatever that challenge may be for the day, examining it at the end of the day puts it into perspective, and it helps you regroup and move on. By reflecting on our challenges at the very end of the day, guys, we're able to look back and say, hey, maybe this wasn't such a big deal. Maybe I overreacted at the time. And then you look back at it and you're like, what pulled me through this challenge? So you take that positive aspect of it too. Because guess what? You're at home, you're back in your room, you're back in bed, you're writing in your journal. So you pulled yourself through that challenge somehow. Whether it was an argument with a friend or a family member or that really bad game, at some point you clicked and you were able to move on from it and go on about your day. And you want to write down how you did that. And you want to reflect back on that challenge too and say, okay, am I going to let this affect me tomorrow? Or am I going to reset right now, relook at it tomorrow morning with a different mindset, a different perspective, and a different attitude? If it was an argument with a friend, you're able to reflect back on that argument and say, hey, maybe I can wake up tomorrow with a different perspective and we can sit down and talk about this as an adult. And so all of a sudden, guys, now by reflecting on those challenges at the end of the day, we're able to say, okay, that's the end of the day. I'm ready to move on to my sleep, ready to move on to next morning. So remember, one challenge and one positive aspect that came out of that challenge. It might not feel really positive at the moment, but think of something that helped you move on from that challenge during that day. Number 3 in our easy journaling exercises. Number 3, you should write down something positive about yourself from that day. So along the same lines as gratitude, reflecting on yourself in a positive manner will not only help you feel better about yourself, it will also put you in a great mindset before you fall asleep. If your overall day was difficult, you had that bad game, all right, take a moment to find a positive about yourself that can help you let go of that bad day and remind yourself that there's still so much good for you to celebrate. It's easy and simple to do. There's no wrong answer. You know, a lot of us as humans, we have a hard time giving ourselves compliments. We have a hard time looking at ourselves and pulling a positive from our lives, especially if we did have a tough day. It's really difficult for us to say, oh, let me say something really good about myself after I feel like I dragged the whole day down and nothing is going right. So remember, there's no wrong answer. This exercise is for your eyes only. So it can be anything positive that you are feeling about yourself. Maybe you had that tough day at school, but you felt like your hair was on point. It looked really good. Or your outfit matched really well. Write that down. Anything positive. Did you make somebody smile today? Think of a moment where maybe you cracked a joke and your best friend laughed. You had everybody laughing in the classroom. You brought your teammates up. You had a positive thought in the locker room. You brought everybody up after the bad game. Write that down, guys. A positive outlook on yourself is going to help you build confidence, and it's going to help you build that mental toughness that you want to be able to bring onto the field, onto the ice, or into the weight room. Number 4, copy down and recite at the same time 3 positive affirmations about yourself every single night. 3 positive affirmations. Now, affirmations are firmly declaring a positive thought and assertively stating it as truth. So by reciting and writing it down, affirmations about yourself, you are fostering positive self-talk and self-empowerment. State your affirmations in the present form. Don't put them in the future form. State them as if you have them or if you are that way right now. So instead of saying, I can be, say, I am. There's a lot of power in those 2 words. Saying I am asserts it. You are now saying that sentence as truth. So for example, I am confident. I am a great athlete. I am beautiful just the way I am. If you find affirmations hard at first, because everybody does, like I said, we find it difficult to talk about ourselves in a positive way. So if you do find it difficult at first, use the same 3 every day until you get comfortable. There are no rules that say you can't say the same affirmation every single day. In fact, you should have a standard set of affirmations that you say whenever things get a little bit difficult. I personally have the same list of 29 affirmations posted to my bathroom mirror so that I don't forget to say them every morning and every evening. So don't overthink or complicate this one. Just believe in yourself. And remember those 2 words, I am. And you can pick something that you feel like you need to work on. If you feel like you have had a negative outlook, say, I am positive. I am a positive thinker. And say it as if it's true, guys. And so do 3 of these each and every night. And say it as if they're true. Number 5. Now this one's one of my favorites. This one helps propel you forward. This one's been changing my life for me personally for over a year since I started doing that. Write down something that you will do tomorrow. Number 5 is writing down something that you will do tomorrow. So I started doing this over a year ago, and it has made a huge difference in my motivation, drive, and energy levels. By consciously writing down 1 or more things that you will do tomorrow, your brain unconsciously starts preparing for those things while you sleep. So you wake up the next morning with goals in mind, a prepared mindset. You're ready to go. So the great thing about this technique is that it can be used for physical things that you want or will do, but also for your mental game. So for example, I will write down in my journal, tomorrow I will be confident. Tomorrow I will have high energy. Tomorrow I will attract good things to me. Now that's on the mental side of things. That's telling myself that, hey, I really want to be more confident tomorrow. So I say, I will be confident tomorrow. Or I feel like I need to be a little bit more positive. So I'll say, I will be positive tomorrow. So the mornings after that, I wake up knowing that I can have a great day because I have affirmed it. I've said that tomorrow I am going to do these things. Now, physically, this is your time to set your short-term goals. So write down, tomorrow I will go to the gym. Tomorrow I will run 3 miles. Tomorrow I will work hard in practice. Tomorrow I will finish my book report. Tomorrow I will get an A on my test. All of a sudden, you are now training your brain to prepare overnight for those goals so that you wake up ready to achieve them. By setting these small goals for yourself at night, whether it's mental or physical, or whether it's just something that you feel like you need to get done the next day, you're lining up your life and shaping it to what you want it to be over the next 24 hours. There is no more powerful thing that you could possibly do in your life than that. You have now prepared yourself. You've set the stage. You are the author, the producer, the director of your life by doing this exercise. Those are my 5 steps for you guys. Really, really simple. Shouldn't take you more than 5 minutes your first few times. After that, if you want to add more and add more and add more, I would suggest absolutely do that. Number 1, write down one thing you're grateful for. Number 2, write down a challenge that you had today and a positive aspect from that challenge. Number 3, write down something positive about yourself from the day. Number 4, copy down and recite 3 positive affirmations about yourself each night. And number 5, write down something that you will do tomorrow. Those are my 5 steps for athletes and for non-athletes to start your mental toughness and self-awareness journey. Your journal, it's for your eyes only. So be as personal and open as you're comfortable being. Starting to train your mindset and developing your mental game for the field, the ice rink, the gym, it can feel like a truly daunting task, guys. I understand that. You may be struggling through burnout, depression, overthinking, overanalyzing, lack of love for your sport, and constant second guessing. I know all that. I struggled through each one of those things and more, guys, during my career growing up, during some of the hurdles that I had to overcome just to play college hockey. Taking 5 minutes a day to journal and to work on your self-awareness, your positive self-talk, your short-term goal setting, it will start you off on the right path to mindset development. You have that information. It takes you no more than 5 minutes. Get yourself started tonight on this journey. If this episode gave you any new information, guys, that you'd never considered before, screenshot the episode and share it on your Instagram, your Facebook, or your Snapchat stories to help somebody else out who may be struggling to start their growth mindset journey. We are all in this together as athletes. Athletes from every type of sport, they struggle with a lot of the same things, right? We all struggle with some of this imposter syndrome, some of this overthinking, this overanalyzing, this feeling that we're not good enough and not having confidence. Help out whoever you can. So if you got something out of this episode today, guys, please share it with your friends and your teammates and your family. As always, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss an episode. And if you do need a little more guidance, a little more push, check out my coaching program at thementalgoalieschool.com/mindset academy. That's thementalgoalieschool.com/mindset academy. Keep pushing yourselves forward, keep growing, and control what you can control. This podcast is brought to you by the TMG Companies in conjunction with the Mental Goalie LLC. Thanks for listening.